This video will go over how to use the eQAPP Lab Acknowledgement tool in FUDSChem. After the contractor digitizes the UFP-QAPP into an eQAPP and certifies it, the lab can review it, confirm there are no discrepancies, and acknowledge that they can comply with it. Reviewing and acknowledging the eQAPP in advance will help you know what to expect with the project and avoid errors later. For information on creating an eQAPP, please refer to our eQAPP tutorials playlist, linked in the description. Go to Tools, Data, eQAPP Lab Acknowledgement. The Lab Acknowledgement Interface is accessible to anyone with a FUDSChem login, but Lab Manager permissions are needed in order to click Acknowledge. Your Synectics point of contact can coordinate adding Lab Manager permissions for the correct person within your organization. Choose your project in the drop-down. This drop-down will only show your projects that are ready for acknowledgement. To review the eQAPP, click the View Project eQAPP button. This automatically loads a report summary of the eQAPP, which can be exported to various formats by clicking on the floppy disk icon. Note that the report will show all analysis methods by default. If there are multiple labs contracted on a project, some analysis methods may not apply to you, and you can uncheck them in the Methods dropdown. Discuss with your contractor if you are unsure which methods they anticipate your lab acknowledging. First, let's review the Analysis Methods, Matrix, Sample Preparation section. We'll make sure the Matrix, Units, Analysis Method, Prep Method, and Handling Method match with what we expect. Pay special attention to method versions. If the contractor has chosen SW6010C and you can only run SW6010B, notify them so they can decide how to handle it. Note that the analysis code, preparation method, handling method, and unit code columns contain the valid values you should use to populate your LIMS system. The unit code for micrograms uses the letter U instead of the character mu. Go to the next page, Holding Times. This report lists the holding times you will be asked to meet for the project. If holding times are exceeded, the ADR will apply qualifiers to your data. If you see a holding time that looks different than expected and you will not be able to meet it, let the contractor know so they can decide what to do. Go to the next page to review Sample Preservation. This report lists sample preservation information, along with containers and sample volumes. If you have any concerns, discuss with the contractor. Go to the next page to review Analyte lists. Review the analytes and surrogates for each method. Surrogates have a type of STD for standard. Check if there are analytes or surrogates you plan to analyze that are not in this list, or any analytes or surrogates on this list that you do not normally analyze for. In either case, notify the contractor of the discrepancy. If you cannot remove or add analytes to your analyses as appropriate, the contractor will need to decide on a path forward. Some methods may have multiple lists, such as this list A and list B. Sometimes different lists will include different analytes, or they may apply to different labs. If you have questions, the contractor can tell you which set of analytes you should be analyzing for. The client analyte ID is what you should use as valid values for your analytes in your LIMS. We use the client analyte ID instead of CAS numbers because CAS numbers do not exist for all analytes. Highlighting on this report indicates an Analyte was added that is not part of the normal template. All Analytes listed should be reported regardless of highlighting. Go to the next page, Analyte Limits. The contractor should have already asked for your LOQ, LOD, and DL to add to the eQAPP. Here, you have the chance to review what they entered. Highlighted cells indicate a missing value. If you notice a missing or incorrect number, let the contractor know so they can update it. Since limits can change over time, an annual review of limits will be made for each project. The eQAPP will automatically expire and become unapproved 1 year after its last approval. If your limits have changed, you can provide them to the contractor to update the eQAPP. If they have not, you will simply go in and acknowledge the eQAPP once more. Go to Analyte Criteria. Each QC element is listed for each method. You can review which compounds are set to be included in matrix spikes, etc. If an analyte is missing, or if an analyte is listed but you don't normally include it, discuss with the contractor. If you cannot modify your spike list for the project to adhere to the eQAPP, they will need to decide on a path forward. Note that highlighting on this report indicates a change from the template. Let's go back to our main window. Once you have reviewed the eQAPP using the report and worked out any discrepancies with the contractor, come back to the Data eQAPP Lab Acknowledgement page. Review the By clicking Acknowledge text. Select any users you want to notify, such as the contractor, and click Acknowledge. Selected users will receive an automated email alert that the acknowledgement is complete. The project acknowledgement status box will populate with your organization, username, and the acknowledgement date. Note that if there is a second lab on the project, that lab can follow the same process. They will not see your information in this box. Once an eQAPP is acknowledged, the contractor will submit it for core approval, and it will disappear from this dropdown. If you need to reference the eQAPP later, you can do so by going to Reports, Environmental Setup Reports at any time. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synaptics.net. Thank you.